uh, probability value is non-zero case, then only we consider as a our data processing. So here basically nav base is a prediction requires for each conditional probability, and that should be as non-zero. So then only we will predict the probability with a particular attribute. Let us suppose that in your data set consists of 1000 tuples. So income is low, that is 0, and income is medium 990, and income is high is 10. Now, out of 1000 tuples, we have the income in this attribute. Income attribute low as taken as 0 records, and medium is 990 records, high is 100 records, 10 records. Sorry. So based on this income attribute, so we need to calculate the probability of income is equal to low. So income is a low condition. In low condition, so adding for each case, adding for each and every case. So I consider as a low case is 1, medium case is 991, income is 11. So based on this one, if you correct the probability, estimated correct to the probability, then probability of income is equal to low is equal to 1 by 1003. Okay. Probability of income is equal to medium 991 by 1003. Probability of income is equal to high, that is 11 by 103. So this is called corrected probability. Because of we take the estimated data, based on the estimated data, we can use the Laplacian correction process. Because of it should be not probability, it should be not be zero case. So that cases we can use the some estimated value. Suppose that we have take the estimated values. So we're adding for each and every case, then automatically the probability we are calculating. So that is called corrected probability. Estimate the closest uncorrected counterparts of the any kind of data set. So that can be labeled by using the Laplacian correction process. So that is a non-zero probability problem. So if you want to avoid in the non-zero probability, if you need to estimate the non-zero probability, so we can use the Laplacian correction process for adding the any number of equal number of values in a particular training data set in a particular attribute. So then we need to calculate the probability for each and every case. So this is one of the example for the avoid the zero probability. Second case is if you want to consider what is the advantage of the nav-based classifier. So nav-based classifier is very important classification algorithm. It is easy to implement. It is easy to implement. It obtains a good results. For the most of the cases, 99% of cases, it generates the most number of good results from the data. And what is the disadvantage of the nav-based classifier is it is a assumption algorithm because of class or conditional independence. There is some of the loss of accuracy, which is their assumption process, and simultaneously practically dependencies existing among the different kind of variables which are used in the data set. So that is a major disadvantages in the nav-based classifier. For example, if you take the hospital data, hospital consists of patients. So patient have some profile as age, family history like that. Whereas symptoms are different kind of diseases like fever, cough, etc. So disease is a lung cancer or diabetes. So all these are cases are depending on the by different kind of parameters we need to construct to find out that what kind of disease it is. It is a family history, it is the symptoms, it is a type of disease. You need to classify for the particular kind of data we are required. So dependencies among the all these cannot be modeled in the nav-based classifier because of if you have dependent attribute which are there in the particular data set or particular attribute, so it deal different kind of dependencies is very difficult. So that can be done by using Bayesian belief networks to deal the different kind of dependencies in between the attributes. But whereas nav-based classifier cannot deal with the dependencies in between the attributes of the data which are found in the training data set. So especially that is a disadvantage of the nav-based classifier. But whereas implementation perspective it is easy. That is advantage and generate the good results compared to other kind of classifier algorithms. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of the nav-based classifier. So if you are using the if-then rules for your classifications, whether it is a nav-based classifier, whether it is a decision tree induction classifier, whether it is a neural networks classifier, or any kind of support vector mission classifier, any kind of algorithms which are using the classification. So we have to represent basic knowledge is required. It is in the form of if then rules. For example, in previous example, we take the training data set that is called age, income, student, credit rating, bias computer. These are the 5 different types of attributes which are there. If you want to define a rule, if age is equal to if age is equal less than 30 or that is considered youth and student is equal to S, then bias computer is equal to S. So this is a rule. So here is if the rule is occurred on, both two conditions should be satisfied. Age should be youth and student is equal to S, then only they will bias a computer. So like that you have some condition, precondition, and simultaneously rule consequent should be occurred in the predicted class table. So that like that you can write a number of rules for a data. So whereas some of the rules like if age is equal to middle, student is equal to no, bias a computer is equal to no. Like that, based on our data, you can write the n number of rules of the data. So here is any kind of rule is triggered based on the conflict resolution of the data. So that is called size ordering or class based ordering or rule based ordering. Any kind of technique is applied for a data should be classified. For example, if you take the size based ordering, so highest priority triggered rules has to be throws the requirement. That is most attribute test or condition should be passed. Whereas class based ordering is it is a decreasing order or prevalence of misclassification as per the cost of the class. So that is called class based ordering. Third one is a rule based ordering. So rule based ordering is based on the accordingly by experts will design about the decision making process. That is rule based ordering. So these are the 3 types of rules will be triggered to need some conflict resolution of the data. The example you can may understand that you can easily that. So we are already design a decision tree for rule extraction for a decision tree. So we are creating the decision tree process by using the information gain of the particular attribute in the training data set. So let us suppose that I create a decision tree induction process by using the most majority voting of the attribute. So most majority voting should be decide about the information gain. So if you're based on the training data set, first I have to calculate the information gain for each and every attribute. Based on the information gain, the highest information gain value should be taken as a root of the decision tree. So in previous example, in the example we are considering age is the highest value. So that's why I take the root of the decision tree. We have the 3 different distinct values which are in the age attribute. So we are using the multi-way splitting process to divide the data into a number of classification rules. So if A is less than or equal 30, then second highest information gain should be a student. So A is less than 30, student is no, and they are not bias a computer. So A is less than 30, student is equal to S, they will bias a computer. So this is a rule. So if A is equal to 31 to 40, should bias a computer yes. Next, A is greater than 40 and credit rating. Next highest information gain is credit rating. Credit rating is excellent. They will not bias a computer. Credit rating is fair. They will bias a computer. So this is a decision tree which is constructed by using the information gain formula. So here, first, if you want to generate a rule extraction for the bias a computer for a decision making tree, so what is things are there? So if age is equal to young, that is less than 30, and student is equal to no, then bias a computer is equal to no. This is one rule. So I am writing that age less than 30, student is equal to no, then bias a computer is equal to no. Second rule is age less than 30, student is equal to S, bias a computer is equal to S. Third rule is age less than is equal to 30 to 40, then bias a computer is equal to S. And fourth rule is age is greater than 40 and credit rating is equal to excellent, then bias a computer is equal to no. Next, age greater than 40, credit rating equal to fail, then bias a computer is equal to S. So like that, based on the decision tree, we will generate the n number of rules. So the rules are liking like this. So if age is equal to young means 30 less than 30, and student is equal to S, and student is equal to no. So then we can say then bias a computer is equal to no. This is a rule. So like that, based on the decision tree, you can write n number of rules to classify the particular data. So rules are very easy to understand for larger kind of trees. So we can just implement it is rule are mutually exclusive or exhaustive. So based on the mutually exclusive, If the two conditions will satisfy, then they will bias a computer yes. If the two conditions are not be satisfied, then they are not bias a computer no. So like that, you need to write a rule based on mutually exclusive or exhaustive. In both cases, we can write the rule. So as per our decision tree, first we take the root node. If age is equal to less than 30 and student is equal to no, then bias a computer is equal to no. That is first rule. Next, agent is equal to less than 30 and student is equal to yes. Bias a computer is equal to, then bias a computer is equal to yes. Next, third rule is if student is equal to 30 to 40, that means middle age, then bias a computer is equal to yes. Next, student is greater than 40, that is old. So student, if age is equal to old and credit rating is equal to excellent, then bias a computer is equal to no. This is the root. So this is the root we are considering. Next, age is equal to greater than 40 and credit rating is equal to fair, then bias a computer is equal to yes. So like that, we need to write the n number of rules from the data. So this is the way our classification process can be done by the data from the rule generation for a decision tree. So like that, you need to compute the all processing of the rules. Then especially some rules are not covering the sequential covering method. So some rules are covering all kind of process. So as per the sequential covering algorithm will cover about all kind of decision making leaps based on the decision making tree to satisfy the condition of the rule. So let's see the example. You can clearly understand that. Let us suppose that we are taking the positive examples. So example covered first rule 1, example 2 also covered root 2, example 3 also covered root. All these rules are covered, so then only they will bias a computer is yes. If some rules are not be covered, that is negative. So while we can use the condition for negative examples also for rule generation. So that is positive examples and negative examples. So in how we can categorize the positive examples and negative examples in the rule generation. See the condition here. If age is equal to young and student is equal to no, then bias the computer is equal to no. This is a negative rule, not a positive rule, because of our result should be no here. So this is a negative rule. And second is if age is equal to old and credit rating is collection, then bias the computer is equal to no. This is also negative rule. These two are negative rules and remaining three are positive rules because of S conditions. So that you need to classify based on the data. So what are the rules we are writing? Based on the rules, we can classify either positive rules or negative rules. Positive rules are bias the computer should be yes. Negative rules are bias the computer is equal to no. All you have to classify from the different kind of rules generated from the decision making tree. So this is we are covering for sequential covering of the rule generation. The three rules are positive. For example, we have three rules are there. One rule is positive and the second rule is negative. So like that, we have to cover the n number of data processing models. So especially in classifications, to model the for a modeling evolution and selection process, there are different kind of metrics are there. So methods are to estimating the classification accuracy by using three different methods. First one is the holdout method, random subsampling, cross validation, bootstrap. So these are the four different kind of methods to estimate the accuracy, classifier accuracy for the particular algorithm. Secondly, comparing these classifiers by using confidence interval or cost based benefit analysis ROC curves, random objective curves. So that is ROC curves also we can compare in the classifier. So these are the methods for estimating classifier accuracy. So first one is a holdout method. Second one is a random subsampling, cross validation, bootstrap, and classifier comparing the classifier by using the confidence analysis, confidence intervals, and cost benefits analysis. So now we can see very important thing for our example classifier evolution matrix. The first evolution matrix is confusion matrix. So it is very important measurement for the evolution of the classifier. So classifier evolution can be done by using the confusion matrix. So in confusion matrix, we have the actual class or predicted classes. For example, let us see the confusion matrix. What is a confusion matrix? Let us example your predicted class consists of two values, that is C1 and like C1 is nothing but yes condition, negative C1 is nothing but no condition. So yes no condition, here is yes and here is no. So we are writing the four values like true positive, false negative, false positive, false true negative. So these are the four conditions for a predicted class. So based on the predicted class, so how to calculate the confusion matrix? How to write the confusion matrix for the particular kind of data? Let us suppose that in our particular training data set, we have the predicted class have the by computer is equal to yes, and by computer is equal to no. So by computer is a predicted class attribute. We have the two values yes and no. So I am writing the yes condition and no condition in the left side. Next one, by computer is equal to yes and by computer is equal to no for cases. Let us suppose that by computer is equal to yes, computer is equal to yes, predicted class label, and here by computer is equal to yes. All cases should be yes conditions. So here I consider, for example, 6954 is a value for true positive. True positive. Next, by computer is equal to yes, and here also no. We have 46 values are no. Let us totally values are 7000. By computer is equal to no, and that is false negative, false positive case 41 value, and false true negative as 2588. So total value is 3000. So finally these only conditions with 7366 and no conditions 2666, 2634. So based on this data, how we have to estimate the confusion indicates in a particular tuple labeled as a classifier, in what kind of classifier can we have exactly get this information. See that so if you want to calculate the accuracy of the particular at by total number of records in that is called accuracy. So accuracy is considered as a percentage of test set of samples tuples that are correctly classified. So test set of samples are correctly classified. Percentage of test set of samples that correctly classified in a training data set, that is called accuracy. Accuracy is equal to true positive plus true negative, TP plus TN by total number of elements all. So that is considered as a that is positive and negative total number of values, that is called all. That is called accuracy. So whereas error rate is equal to 1 minus accuracy. 1 minus accuracy is called error rate. So error rate is equal to false positive plus false negative by all the value. So should consider as a error rate. So if you want calculate, so TP divided by P, TP divided by called TP divided by true positive divided by P is sensitivity, whereas specificity is called true negative recognition rate. So true negative divided by n should be called specificity. So these are the four types of mathematical formulas to calculate the accuracy, error rate, sensitivity, and specificity of the particular classifier. Particular classifier. So then also we are consider as a so this is a basic understanding of confusion matrix. Based on the confusion matrix, we need to calculate the accuracy, error rate, sensitivity, and specificity. So accuracy also called accuracy, classifier accuracy called or recognition rate. So the percentage of set of tuples that are correctly classified, the percentage of set of tuples that are correctly classified, that is called accuracy. Accuracy is equal to TP plus TN by total number of positive and negative values. So that is all. That is called accuracy. Error rate is nothing but 1 minus accuracy. 1 minus accuracy, that is called error rate. Or error rate also we can calculate by using confusion matrix FP plus, that is a false positive plus false negative by total number of values. That is FP plus Fn by all. That is called error rate. Third one is sensitivity. Sensitivity is very important feature to calculate by using confusion matrix. Sensitivity is equal to TP by P. where TP is a true positive by total only positive values. TP by P is called sensitivity. Positive recognition rate, true positive recognition rate called sensitivity. True negative recognition rate is called specificity. Specificity is equal to Tn by n. Specificity is equal to Tn by n. So whereas there are different kind of metrics, evolution metrics for a classifier. The first one is a precision. Precision is nothing but exact what percentage of tuples are classified, labeled as positive or actually positive. That is called precision. So precision is one of the mathematical measurement evolution metrics for any classifier. So precision is equal to true positive by true positive plus false positive. So this is a formula for precision. Whereas recall is equal to completeness and what percentage of positive tuples did classifier label as positive. So what is the percentage of positive tuples did the classifier label as positive? So recall is equal to true positive by true positive plus. So third important measurement is F measure. So F measure is equal to 2 into precision into recall divided by precision per recall. Precision per recall called F measure. So based on these three formulas, we are calculating for classifier evaluation metrics like precision, recall, F measure. Based on this value, which classifier have the highest classification accuracy, then and simultaneously precision, recall, F measure. All these are measurements. Based on measurements, we are comparing the different type of classifiers in our model. So especially 6 terms we need to calculate. The first term is very important term is accuracy. So accuracy is equal to true positive plus true negative by all. Error rate is equal to 1 minus accuracy. So false positive plus false negative by all. Next sensitivity. Sensitivity is true positive recognition rate. Sensitivity is equal to TP plus TP by P. That